Good evening. My name is Anthony Burwell. I serve as board chair here at Red Oak. I'm also a hospice chaplain with Summa Hospice and an elder with St. Ashworth Temple Church of God in Christ right here in Akron. It is so wonderful to have you join us for our event this evening. Without you, it would not be possible for us to serve the literally thousands of children and families in our community, in our services here, in our building, but mostly out in the community, in schools and in homes. Red Oak is an organization that benefits children, that benefits adults and their families, that meets them right where they are. So tonight, as you're learning more about our mission, perhaps for the first time, as you're hearing stories from parents and children and staff members who are in the race, who are in the fight, who are in the community every day, I want you to think not so much about those thousands and thousands of kids, but I want you to think about one. Right now, I want you to get your son or your daughter, your niece or your nephew or cousin, a young person who sometimes may feel like they're not seen, or perhaps they have bouts with anxiety or bullying, or their homework isn't quite getting done the right way, or people just don't seem to understand them. Maybe they just don't feel like they fit in. Think about that one child. And as you think about that one child, I want you to ask yourself this question. If I could, what would I do to help? Well, tonight you have an opportunity to do something and to help in a way that perhaps you hadn't considered before. Supporting Red Oak Behavioral Health allows this organization to reach out to those thousands of children and to reach that one at a time, but all being served. And as we're sitting down one-on-one with that one child, we're hearing from them, we're connecting with them, we're supporting them, and we're helping them to grow. Tonight's event is Where Love Grows. So you are helping to plant a seed for a fantastic growth that will bear benefits quite soon. We're going to have a lot of fun this evening. This event is a little different. We would love to be hosting you in person, but through this virtual setting, you have an opportunity to bring people that you're comfortable with into this fight. Come and sit with us. Bring them with us. Call them now. Email them. I know that's antiquated, but it's a good time to get in touch with people any way that you can, to have them join us. Later this evening, you're going to have an opportunity to support us in some fantastic ways. There are auction items that you'll be able to bid on or just direct donations. When you're considering those things, please consider that one child that you have in mind, because what you do tonight could truly benefit that one, as well as the thousands of others that we engage with. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you in the community. We look forward to hearing from you anytime you need to reach out to us. Have a blessed and wonderful night, and take good care of yourselves.
Thank you so much, Anthony. And thank you again to all of you who took time from your busy lives and your hectic schedules to join us this evening. My name is Megan Clyden, and I'm the president and CEO of Red Oak Behavioral Health. And I have the honor of welcoming you to the second annual Where Love Grows Gala and Benefit. This year, as challenging as it's been, we feel so blessed to be able to connect with all of you, even if it is virtually, to share some of the stories about the people and the partners who've helped make Red Oak continue to be able to provide critical behavioral health services to our community, including the over 4,000 children we serve each year. Tonight, you'll have the joy of hearing from some of our amazing staff, our school partners, most importantly, our clients, the reason why we do this work. While you're logging on, I want you to know there's many opportunities to support Red Oak tonight, including a wonderful silent auction which will remain live until 9 o'clock this evening. The link to view those items is below, so please get on your mobile devices and start your bidding. While you're doing that, I'm going to turn the virtual mic over to one of our amazing case managers, Lavelle, who'll be sharing with you a bit about his role here at Red Oak and how his work has changed as the result of the worldwide pandemic. Lavelle?
I'm a CPST case manager. I'm currently at Bookto High School. I've been employed with Red Oak for going on 6 years this year. Do a lot of work in the community and school-based, and It's fun, it's rewarding, and it's challenging all in one. A little bit of the work that I do, I work with middle school and high school students, so the age varies. So you have a lot of those 6th grade kids coming in who really don't know about the middle school component, and then you have your transition from 8th grade to high school, which can be a challenge as well, because now you start dealing with more peer pressure and everything like that. A lot of the work that we do is just helping families out along with the students. If families need different community resources, we help the family out with those resources. It could be food, it could be clothing, it could be just a variety of different things. One of the main things that we try to work on is just getting our kids to be able to adjust to the school atmosphere, and that's controlling their behavior. If they have high anxiety, how to reduce their anxiety and frustration. If it comes to test taking, if it comes to just conflict with teachers and other peers in the school building. So those are things that we try to work on. A lot of the challenges are food-related issues, clothing. My therapist and I, we work hand in hand. So the Christmas giveaway that we did for this year, we had a couple students who received clothes who really needed it. And that was like a huge blessing for a lot of those kids. Food distribution has been, I could say, the biggest challenge over this pandemic. Waiting at the food bank, waiting in those long lines, and my truck filled up to the max. The pandemic causes so many different challenges. You have so many kids with idle time, and with idle time is like the worst time that a kid can have. If they're not on the computer in school, then they might be off in the community setting. It's a full circle now, now that the parents are able to really see oh, my kid is struggling with keeping focus in class, and I have to make sure that they're turning in their homework and the X, Y, and Z. So they have somebody who cares. We provide them with hope. We provide them with a comfort zone to where they're able to communicate, where they're able to share different beliefs that they may have, and they know that we are going to be there. I think every case manager that works and therapist that works within Red Oak can all vouch and say, well, I have phone calls at 4 o'clock in the morning with students who had whatever issue going on. And that's letting us know that we are doing something, like we're making an impact in the lives of a lot of families. So that helps.
Thank you so much, Lavelle. I'm always humbled by the amazing dedication and the resilience of our staff, no matter how many times you'll hear their stories. Most of us have had to wear an awful lot of hats this year. For me personally, I've juggled my time as a wife, as a mother, a daughter, a sister, and of course, as the leader of this amazing organization. All of these roles have required top priority at different times throughout the pandemic, and all of them have held challenges that I know many of you can appreciate. Schooling our children at home, juggling the hybrid schedules, dealing with quarantines and with losses, the enormity of these pressures isn't lost on me or on Red Oak. Although some days it may feel like we're not accomplishing enough, no matter what hat we're wearing, knowing that these wonderful humans are out making the world a better place carries me forward every day, as I hope it will you. Here are some more examples of the impact that your support is having in our community.
My name is Alex Bingham. I'm a school-based therapist at Sam Salem CLC. And what a school-based therapist is somebody who works within the school to do the work of therapy for our kids, for our child clients. So if I can, I pull them from classes to meet with them to have individual therapy sessions. If that's not possible, I'm working with them in the classroom setting, redirecting them, helping them engage with other peers, work on their social skills, work on their study skills.
My name is Ashley Ware, and I'm a school-based therapist at King CLC and Resnick CLC, and currently helping out at Porch Path CLC. So I work with elementary kids from K through 5th grade.
My name is Natalie Barker, and I am a CPST supervisor at Red Oak Behavioral Health. My school site is Pfeiffer Elementary in the Kenmore cluster of Akron. A CPST provider stands for Community Psychiatric Supportive Treatment Provider.
To be a school-based therapist, it's really something special. A lot of the kids, some of the behavioral issues that they deal with are really present in the school setting. And so a lot of times if they're not really focused on their work, whether it's because of inattention, hyperactivity, maybe it's some negativity going on, some negative behaviors.
I noticed that a lot of them were really struggling with their schoolwork and learning how to engage online, and you can't blame them. This is something completely new for all of us.
A lot of the gaps that we're experiencing have to do with technology, the use of technology in the homes. A lot of our families don't have access to home internet.
A lot of kids' parents are either working from home during the day or going to work, and so they're not getting a whole lot of support when it comes to that online school.
Man, I think if this pandemic has taught us anything, is that we have all dealt with some level of stress and adjustment.
At the beginning of the pandemic, I really struggled with where's my role as a therapist. My kids are struggling in school, and I'm supposed to be helping them with their mental health and providing therapy services. And one of the things they tell you as a social worker is meet the client where they're at. And for me, where my clients are at is they are struggling with school. School is a huge part of their lives. They spend 4 hours a day on the computer doing schoolwork, and if they're not achieving in school, their mental health is poor. If their mental health is poor, then they're not achieving in school, and it goes round in a circle.
One of my families in particular, who I work with, is a home of 7 children, all ranging from the ages of, or grades of 1st grade to 8th grade. And I don't know that there has been a single time this year where all of their computers were online working at the same time. I will communicate with each of their schools because they're in 5 different school buildings, and talk to tech people, try to get them back online, go pick up a computer, drop off their old ones.
I've had probably a lot more contact with parents and guardians during this pandemic than probably usually. And a lot of the cries or requests are kind of similar in terms of trying to figure out how to help their kid. Some of the time I find that, to the best of my ability, just trying to comfort that parent or guardian, because they're showing up. That's half the battle. They may not do it perfectly, they may not do it, right every time, but there's that effort, and it's seen and it's recognized and they're valued, and that partnership really is what we're looking for. So the fact that they're trying to come alongside us to help their kid, it just really speaks to how much they care about them.
So Red Oak has been a huge help for being able to provide these services for those kiddos. We take them there, they've got the quiet space to be able to do their schoolwork, and it's also a place that has those backup Chromebooks, those backup chargers that we're constantly using. We've got the school supplies that we need, so whether they're in art class, they have their crayons, their markers, whatever it is, their pens and their paper. Red Oak also has extra sets of headphones that I've been able to use with my clients when they need to focus even more and have an even quieter space to work.
So throughout the pandemic, I work with a team of therapists, a different therapist at each school, and we have worked diligently, very hard together to communicate and correspond and make sure that we are both up to speed on what's going on in these homes, so that we're able to provide the best services possible.
The services that we've been able to provide at Red Oak and as a Red Oak therapist have allowed a lot of my kids to re-engage back in school. Some of those kids that last spring were completely unengaged and were not doing their schoolwork are now able to do that and to increase their mood, increase their motivation. They feel better about themselves and they're able to perform better.
Now more than ever, what we do is really essential. There are countless stories of kids I work with and that I know others who work with where remote learning is a huge struggle for the kids and the parents, that family dynamic. It's a huge struggle. And Red Oak, we're really able to come in and help provide that support that we've always done. So we're coming in, bring them out of the home, taking them to the office, in the community, where it's safe, and just really providing that support, probably more so than what we're used to, just because of the dynamics and the restrictions that we have during that school day. We're still here. It might look a little different, but we're still here.
All right, my name is Legend. I've been working with Red Oak for 2 years now. The two people I've been connecting with is Mr. Leon and Miss Rachel. Mr. Leon is it's kind of like a stepfather to me. He's been helping me through a lot, and he's been showing me what my dad originally could never show me. He hasn't been around a lot. Mr. Leon's been there to help me through times that I really needed help with, and I'm thankful for it. Miss Rachel has been helping me a lot. She's kind of like another stepmom to me as well. She's been helping me with problems, for instance, I'm shy of talking with people. Mr. Gala and Miss Rachel both help me with that. I'm shy of talking with people, and I like mental attributes as well, for eye contact and keeping calm in situations just like this, to be exact. So I'm thankful that they both been helping me with this. I'm able to carry my side of a conversation with other people now. I'm able to truly when I come up with something like a joke, I usually don't have the confidence to say anything about it. But now I'm able to make jokes, make other people laugh, and I feel like I'm included in things now, and I'm extremely happy for it. It's all been so much better, to be exact. I look back at myself today from 5 years ago. So from 5 years ago, I was just so quiet. I didn't like talking to people. I was just all alone in my comfort zone, by myself. How they helped me was during the summer and after the summer, of course. Mr. Leon come get me every Friday, go on a walk and talk. It was nice to get out, and it helped me feel not trapped at home anymore. But Red Oak has truly been a blessing to me. It's helped me reach my 5-year-old me again. Cause I was so happy 5 years old. Then as soon as school came along and the stuff at home, it just started, just didn't feel right anymore. But Red Oak came to get me out of my dark zone and bring me back into the light, and I'm extremely happy for it. It's brought me happiness that I've haven't felt in such a while. I feel confident to do a lot more now. Feel passionate to keep going what I want to do. If you having a problem out of your comfort zone, if you're having problems at home, of course, or just a mental struggle, then Red Oak is someone you should call in need. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your family or parents like I am, then ask them to sign up for Red Oak. Red Oak is truly something special, and it's helped me through a lot.
My name is Joel, and I'm 10 years old, and I talk to Miss Ashley and Miss Amanda.
My name is Caleb, and I'm 11 years old, and I talk to Miss Ashley, Miss Amanda, and Miss Jacqueline. They help us with family members and stuff like that. If we're talking about our family members,
they just help us with any problem we have. If I in second grade they started helping me because I had anger issues. People thought. So really I just really got mad quickly. So Miss Ashley and Miss Jacqueline started helping me with stuff. And then I stopped having anger issues.
The best thing they had done for us is when we go to the park, and we went to McDonald's when we were going, not for food like that. We went to go play at they have a type of playground.
If you could say one thing to Miss Amanda and Miss Ashley, what would you say to them?
Thank you!
that they are kind and caring and helpful.
I'm Trinity and I'm 11. Miss Ashley, Miss Jacqueline, and Miss Amanda, I see them as big sisters and friends. They're the best people they'll probably ever meet. And if you wanted to talk to them, they will probably say something that will make you very happy. If I'm not there, I kind of feel a little bit stressed. And then I ball up my feelings, but when I'm with them, I just let it all out, and then they say something nice to make me feel a little bit better.
And as those kinds of people in your life, what have they helped you to learn over the years about yourself?
That I shouldn't be insecure about my gap, and that is beautiful, and it makes me me, and they bring out the confidence in me.
I think as parents, the reason that we started seeking services is because it was okay for us to ask for help. You can't always do it on your own. I mean, when you're trying to balance careers and the pandemic and raising your kids, it's tough. And we all run into challenges. Nobody's perfect. So to get some extra help and some extra guidance, I think was one of the driving factors.
I think some of the things with kids growing up today is the access to the whole world that they have that we did not have growing up. And, the access to internet, they're on the internet all day at school, and then they at home are on the internet at home. And, we can do all that we can to protect them from, what is out there.
We're dealing with our own stuff.
Yeah.
And so when he would see us dealing with anxiety or stress, he would react to that. And we were having difficulty adjusting to our own stress and our own anxiety. And that was spreading downhill to him a little bit. So if we're gonna ask for help, he should ask for help.
I think for me, what I noticed with our child first is that he's just really gifted and very talented and so intelligent. And I think kind of like finding his way in this world with all of these gifts is a really big struggle for him. And so, sometimes he just doesn't fit that perfect mold that might come easier for other children. And, maybe as parents, we might expect him to fit into a mold a little bit easier than what he's capable of doing. And teachers might expect him to fit into, a particular mold a little bit easier than what he's capable of doing. And so then when he doesn't, I think that emotions and reactions just kind of spill over.
I think one of the reasons that we enjoy talking about Red Oak openly is not only because they've done great things for our son, but they have done great things for everybody in the community. I mean, this has been a really tough time. And even pre-pandemic, having our son have the ability to talk to someone outside of mom and dad, because it's not always easy to talk to mom and dad. I've been in counseling since I've been a teenager, and so I felt like it was okay to have our son in it too. I don't look at it as a failure as a parent. I look at it as strong parenting, and to have a resource like Red Oak available in the community that's available to everyone, I mean, why wouldn't you support that? A healthy child isn't just one who doesn't have a broken arm or a broken leg. Sometimes kids just need someone to talk to and to get things right. So it's great to have that resource here in Akron.
We say this is for Landon, but this is for our whole family. This is the wellness of our family and moving forward. And when we talk to Landon about why he's here, because sometimes he's just like, I don't want to be here. Like, why are you making me do this? We tell him like, this isn't just for today and tomorrow. This is for like your future, because we want to raise a kind and responsible and caring human and adult, and this isn't just because like today you're emotional and you're sad and you're crying. It's because in the future we want you to know that like it's okay to go get help.
Thank you so much for watching, tuning in. I hope that you can see all the hard work that we're doing for our kids, for our families, this community. Everything that you contribute, that you donate, is really going to help us to further help our kids, our families, in any way that we can. And just know that Red Oak, we always show up to support however we can in any capacity.
we're very fortunate that, we have insurance and we can bring our son here with no worries in the world, right? But I think there's a lot of people out there who struggle with that and they look for help. And tonight, your donations really matter. So remember, you can help a child in a number of ways, right? You see someone with a broken arm, you're going to help them. You see a child with cancer, you're going to give them $5 to help. So tonight, if you can make a donation at the link that you see, make sure that you take care of all of our kids in the community, regardless of their injuries or illnesses.
Help us out and donate to Where Love Grows and support Red Oak Behavioral Health.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and thank you for your support, and let you know that all of your donations are going to the children in our community and the children that I personally work with. And thank you for making that contribution to our agency.
Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, the work we do here at Red Oak makes an enormous difference in the lives of so many in our community. I'd like to next introduce two members of the Red Oak team who are going to talk with you about what a difference every dollar makes for the children and the families we serve. Stacy Giamarco, our Director of Marketing and Development, and Jacqueline Flossie, our Manager of Recruitment and Engagement.
Thanks, Megan. It is an honor to be with you all tonight as we celebrate our Red Oak rock stars and the incredible stories of those we serve.
I agree, Stacy. I've been a part of the Red Oak family for over 10 years and have been so blessed to see the direct impact of the work we do. Did you know that every $25 we raise, Red Oak can provide 10 round-trip bus passes for a family of 4 to receive services from our outpatient team?
And a donation of $50 allows Red Oak to purchase food for a class of community leaders participating in our youth mental health first aid class so that they are able to recognize the signs and symptoms of mental health issues and help the youth in their community.
You're right. $100 provides funding to a therapist or a case manager to transport as they travel to meet children in alternate therapy locations, such as the park, their home, or a local community center.
And if we receive a gift of $250, it equips our school-based therapy teams with a sensory kit that includes things like weighted blankets and tactile items.
$500 funds a parent in completing the 13-session Parent Project program. Parent Project is an evidence-based curriculum that helps parents who are raising difficult or challenging children.
These gifts, along with any donation you make throughout the year, help our thousands of children in our community to grow and thrive.
Tonight we are asking you to dig deep, to reach into your virtual wallets and help Red Oak continue the work we are doing with over 4,000 children in the greater Akron community. We have many ways for you to support us tonight and to reach our goal of $30,000.
Yes, you can bid on our many silent auction items, purchase a raffle ticket for the amazing Louis Vuitton purse that we're raffling, or provide us with a donation that can be used for any of our programs or services. We need you in order to keep doing this work. Please consider making a meaningful gift tonight. Thank you. And Megan, back to you.
Thank you so much, ladies. As we continue, I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, without whom tonight wouldn't be possible. You'll have had an opportunity to learn about them prior to this evening's event through our social media, but I encourage you to make sure you extend thanks to them just as we thank them for their support. In addition, I want to thank all of the Red Oak rock stars who get up every day and go out to make a difference in our community, one child, one adult, or one family at a time. You make it look easy, but I know that it isn't. The days are long, the traumas your clients experience are intense, and the interventions can leave you drained. Thank you for continuing to show up and to bring your very best selves to this work every day. You are the heart of all we do here at Red Oak, and I am so grateful for you.
My name is Bethany Simpson, and I'm a school-based therapist, and I work at Helen Arnold CLC. My name is Ryan Lawrence. I am a QMHS, or Qualified Mental Health Specialist, here at Red Oak, and I'm focused on East Middle and High School as well as North High School.
I have been with Red Oak for almost 11 years, and this is my 7th school year with Helen Arnold.
Red Oak was a godsend because I love working with teens. I love working with that age group. They're fun. I think I'm still a child at heart too, and so being able to help and support these teens and middle schoolers in that way at Red Oak has been great.
So the ages of the kids that I work with are kindergarten through 5th grade, so elementary aged, and there's so many things that at that age that kids face that, sometimes we think elementary, what kind of problems might elementary kids be facing, but there's really a lot there. They're anxious, they're dealing with things at home, they're dealing with things at school, struggling with focusing, and it gives us an opportunity to help them succeed academically.
From 8:45 usually, I'm at an appointment with a young man. We get into his Chromebook because school is now started online. And so a lot of times if I wasn't there with them, they would either be late or maybe missing class sometimes. And so we work on the motivation, helping them focus and do what they need to for class. I'm there for assistance.
When the pandemic started in March, it was scary. It was scary for all of us. Things were different. Suddenly our safe place, which was school, it wasn't there anymore. So we had to figure out a new way to meet our kids where they were at. So when you think about our kids, especially for them, going to school, for a lot of them, that is their happy place. That's where they get their support. That's where they see their friends, their teachers, their counselors. This is really where they can get their needs met. So when that was taken away, when school shut down, it created an opportunity for us to meet them in the homes, in the communities, at our offices, but finding other ways to connect with them. Our families, we've really connected them with anything from food resources to assistance with internet. That's been a huge issue, is stable internet, and for kids to have that to sign on for school and for counseling. So making sure they're able to access that, and also just support. Parents also are feeling the isolation. So being able to, reach out and just talk and say, hey, we're feeling it too, and connect with them that way has been a big help.
So some of the most difficult things that I've had to address with the kids have been loss. Some of these guys have had absentee fathers. And so when you can get to some of that issue, if they start sharing about that, what their relationship is like with dad, or even a missing mom sometimes too, that can be kind of difficult for them. Some of them have had recent death in their family. I kind of lost count of how much of family members have died to violence. I was just meeting with a young man who literally had bullets in his house because of a drive-by shooting. It wasn't for his family, but he was there with his younger brother, and someone decided to shoot up the house next to them, and him and his brother were there. They had to hit the floor, and gunshots fired through their window in their living room. And so that's difficult. What do you say, with a young man who's dealing with that, and who also just lost his cousin to violence, gun death? And so there's a lot of that, a lot of loss, a lot of trauma. And so you just try to be there for them. You try to listen to them and help them know that it can get better. There's still hope. There's still reason and purpose to live, and that they can make a difference in their own life, not going down that path as well. It's just crazy what their normal is and what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, on top of everything else that they're going through.
Our families are really struggling. This has been a very hard time. And no matter what comes our way, Red Oak is going to be there for our kids and our families. We're going to show up for them. But there's so much that they are going through on the daily that it's almost unimaginable to think about what our kids deal with day in and day out.
Thanks for coming tonight, and thanks for listening. The things that these young men and these young women are going through is really huge, and especially at the age that we work with primarily at school, to be able to be there right where they are, at their homes, at their schools, really allows us to have a very unique spot into their lives, and to be able to speak and to listen in a way that they wouldn't have otherwise. Some of these young men and these young women are at such pivotal points in their life, and it can really change the whole trajectory of their entire family, of their entire generation. And to be able to be a person who's there with them in those pivotal times and in those pivotal moments is priceless. And so thank you again for coming. I really encourage you to consider supporting Red Oak, because we couldn't do the work without you.
Thank you all so much for all of your support, for being here, for being part of this event. We count on you and we need you to continue to do the great work that I so deeply believe in and that Red Oak is showing up in our community and doing every day.
In addition to recognizing those who've made tonight possible, I have the honor of introducing and presenting this evening's Partnership Awards. There were many nominations for these awards from our staff, highlighting the amazing work of men and women across our 92 partner schools, and every one of the identified partners is critical to our organization's success. I want to make sure that everyone watching here tonight understands that those who are recognized this evening were nominated not by an administrator, but by those who stand alongside them doing this work day in and day out. That, in and of itself, makes every nominee this evening a winner. I'll begin with the Connection Award. The Connection Award is an award given to an embedded partner school staff member who is a champion for Red Oak within their building and then who goes above and beyond to link students in need of critical mental health services. These people are our eyes and our ears in the building, helping to foster relationships with our embedded staff members, engaging parents and families in care, and making critical connections to the staff within their building. Our top 3 nominees for this year's Connection Award, in alphabetical order, are Callie Butcher, 2nd grade teacher at Sam Salem CLC. Lisa Johnson, behavioral specialist and program manager for Akron Public Schools. And Tina McIntyre, principal at David Hill CLC. Let's take a moment to hear from our Connection Award nominees.
My name is Callie Butcher. I'm a 2nd grade teacher at Sam Salem CLC in Akron Public Schools.
My name is Tina McIntyre, and I am the principal at David Hill CLC. When I found out that I was nominated for the Connection Award, I was first honored, but I also was humble because I know that it's not just me, but it's me working with everyone else and their support also.
Very humbled and surprised, but those 3 ladies work really hard, and I wouldn't be as good at my job connecting with families if it wasn't for them, especially those hard to reach students and families.
So during this pandemic with COVID and everything this year, having Red Oak available makes it so much easier to get things out to our students, because some of those students don't have the transportation to get to school to get their supplies, lunches, and Red Oak has really stepped up and helped us with that, getting food out to them, even giving transportation to some of our students that have to be assessed.
The partnership between Red Oak and Sam Salem CLC is immeasurable. Us teachers cannot do our job without the help of our Red Oak counselors. We have 3 phenomenal ladies in our building, and they help us make the connection between our families and our students.
Red Oak has had success with our students because they have the direct phone numbers to the families. They can reach them probably sometimes quicker than we can. So that has been very helpful. That was helpful when we were in the building, but also even more so now. And then just having that ability to help our parents get all the resources that they need and being that advocate for them.
Just being able to reach that hard to reach family. Maybe the parents had a bad educational experience. So, teachers can reach out, but then Red Oak is that extra added layer, like another person to let them know it's okay. Your child doesn't have to have the same experience that you had. It can be a positive atmosphere for them. So Red Oak, I feel, just helps them bridge that gap, make it more successful.
And this year's Connection Award Acorn goes to Lisa Johnson.
I'm Stephanie Davis. I'm the principal at Bridges Learning Center. I'm accepting the award for Lisa Johnson, who can't be here because of a recent medical procedure. I am the 2020 Connection Award winner, and I am humbled to be here accepting on Lisa's behalf. Lisa works feverishly as the liaison for the Akron Public Schools and community service providers for mental health. She's passionate about making sure that families and students have connections within the community and have all of the support that they need therapeutically and behaviorally. She's been with the district since 1996 and has spent nearly all of those years working to connect at-risk students with what they need within the community to support their complicated needs. Lisa has been integral from the onset of the relationship with Red Oak and the Akron Public Schools, being a constant champion of mental health services for students within the school environment and connecting them with a fabulous resource in the community. She has worked through several administrations, making sure that our kids get exactly everything they need and deserve through this agency. Lisa's been a champion of making sure that students receive robust services through Red Oak, and that relationship has evolved into the model we have today, which is Red Oak therapists and case managers embedded into buildings, making sure that they are the bridge between school and home. I'd like to accept this award on behalf of Lisa Johnson. Thank you for awarding her the 2021 Connection Award. She appreciates the acknowledgement and hopes that through her work, families and students have gotten some of what they need within the community, and she will continue to be a champion for students' mental health.
And now for the Courage Award. The Courage Award is given to a high-level partner school administrator who's provided vision and strategic partnership to help strengthen and expand the mission of Red Oak Behavioral Health. These people are true champions for the children and families who live in Greater Akron, but they're also champions for mental health and ensuring that our kids get the critical health care that they need and deserve. These individuals are faced with the enormous responsibility of caring for the thousands of children within their districts and prioritizing the needs that often seem too numerous to count. Despite the educational challenges that were piled on with the pandemic, each of these partners has put the social, emotional, and mental health needs of their students at the forefront, serving as trailblazers in this work and setting a true precedent for what community-based partnerships can be. Our top 3 nominees for this year's Courage Award, again in alphabetical order, are Dana Addis, Superintendent with Norton City Schools, Jeff Ferguson, Immediate Past Superintendent at Talmadge City Schools, and Andrew Hill, Superintendent with Wadsworth City Schools. Let's take a moment so we can hear from our Courage Award nominees.
My name is Dana Addis. I'm the superintendent of Norton City Schools in Norton, Ohio. Norton City Schools began partnering with Red Oak in 2013, and we've had a wonderful relationship with them since then.
My name is Andy Hill. I'm the superintendent of the Wadsworth City School District. So the Wadsworth City School District has partnered with Red Oak for 5 years now. This is our 5th school year.
My name is Jeffrey M. Ferguson, superintendent of the Talmadge City Schools, and we have been a partner with Red Oak for 6 years. I think the partnership with Red Oak for these past 6 years has really grown and it has evolved. We kind of looked at working with students. We really needed more help in the classrooms, in the buildings, and more support, mental health supports for our students. And so the partnership started with that in mind, but it really has blossomed into an array of programs where we really feel like we can contact Red Oak, and there's this collaborative relationship where we present a problem, we really collectively come to the table and work to solve that problem to help give the assets that our students need when it comes to mental health.
What the partnership has meant is that school districts are responsible for more than we've ever been responsible for. You know, we're feeding kids now, and we are responsible for not only reading, writing, and arithmetic, but for social emotional health. And probably over the course of the last 10 to 15 years, schools are doing more and reaching brand new levels of social emotional health. So our relationship with Red Oak has allowed us to not only get better at that ourselves, but also to rely on the professionals to come in and assist with our own professional development, but most importantly, to develop relationships with our students. And our students now know not only do they have employees from the school district they can rely on, but they have additional resources in Red Oak counselors to provide guidance for them and establish relationships with them.
Red Oak has been able to provide a level of support to kind of fill a gap that we weren't able to offer within our school district. We started the relationship because we realized that we had a lot of students that had needs that fell outside of the area of expertise of our educators and school counselors and others. And over time, we've seen that really develop and blossom into starting with small numbers in a couple schools to, I think we're close to 120 students now that are working with a number of staff from Red Oak in all 8 of our school buildings.
I think the additional support matters most now because we're more in tune than ever before of taking care of kids. We've gotten better at understanding their needs, of knowing that they all have their own hidden stories and their own emotional needs, but we're limited. You know, we're doing a lot of things. So the relationship with Red Oak gives us the confidence that professionals can come in and meet the students at places maybe where we're not equipped to meet them.
Yeah, so the services that Red Oak provides have really become I guess a crucial pivot and focus point, rather, for what we need to be able to offer the full spectrum of services to students within our school district. You know, we listen very closely to our teachers, support staff, and others who are seeing the struggles that kids are bringing with them to the classroom daily. And it was through that feedback we received from them that we realized that we really needed to look to fill the gap. And it really is how this all came about this year with our staff as well. You know, it's been a really interesting year dealing with educating during a pandemic and all of the challenges that come with it and the stresses and other things of being in person 5 days a week like we have been since the end of August. And our staff are the ones that were able to get us to be able to do that, working really collaboratively together with our community over the summer.
Yeah, I think the bridge that has been gapped with our teachers feeling comfortable, all of our employees feeling comfortable about Red Oak being on site, is that as much as we want to help, we're limited. You know, we went to school to be educators. We went to school to teach, you know, any of the content areas. We love kids. We can offer some insight. We can form relationships, but we're not professionally trained, even though we try really hard to say all of the right things and be that perfect person all of the time. We reach our point of limitation, and it is there that we have a great peace of mind that Red Oak consultant is there for us. And it really helps us as employees, and as we've mentioned, it helps our kids quite a bit also.
Well, I hope it continues to grow. I feel like our students see those folks from Red Oak as part of the team. You know, when our students talk about a counselor, you always have to ask which counselor, because we're not sure whether it's a Talmadge City School or whether it's a Red Oak, and so that's a really powerful statement for us. So I think in the future what we would hope to see is that continues to grow, but then we're also looking at some other programs. We're getting ready to start an iMentor program. We came to Red Oak about a year ago. Obviously the pandemic hit, and so we've been planning our way through that, but I'm very excited to say in the future that we are looking at a mentorship program where Red Oak is going to help us collectively put together mentors in the community to mentor students. They'll start with them in 5th grade, and they're going to stay with that student all the way to graduation. So we feel that's a win-win for that community member that's going to have an opportunity to watch a student grow and develop, but then also obviously a win for a student to have a caring adult in their life to also be that role model. So that's something we're very excited about just getting started with.
So I think our hope for the future is that our partnership with Red Oak will continue to grow and evolve as different needs evolve within our students and our staff. We started with one therapist in 2 of our buildings 5 years ago. We have 3 therapists working within the eight buildings. We started with maybe a handful of kids, and now we have over 120 students that are receiving the services. So, I would hope that we're able to continue to build upon what we've been able to do these last 5 years, and work together, I guess, as the needs evolve, to be able to make sure the services we're providing evolve as well.
The principals, I can tell you firsthand, have said that they feel like they're part of the team, part of the staff, not just the time they spend with the students, but also the Red Oak folks have been so receptive to strategies, tools, that really to help a teacher that might not have the training and have the expertise. They'll brainstorm on working with a difficult student, and so I feel like they feel like they're part of the building, really part of the Talmadge family.
And this year's Courage Award Acorn goes to Dana Addis.
My name is Dana Addis. I'm the Superintendent of Schools in the Norton City School District, and I am both humbled and honored to be the recipient of this year's Courage Award. And the symbol of the acorn actually means a lot. It takes me back to the early days of educating. When educators set out to teach, we do so for a number of reasons, and mine was because I had a wonderful connection to so many educators as a student, actually at Norton High School and Norton City School District. So we set out on this career path to help kids. But it isn't until at some point during your career when you realize your purpose in education, and that was about 2003, 2004 for me, almost 10 years in, when I realized our sole purpose as educators is to serve students. And once I realized that lesson, that I was in the full service business, that's when this profession got really good and has reaped so many rewards. And now in this position of superintendent, I feel blessed, to have earned this, but this is only occurring because in this position of servant leadership, I have people in my own district who are working extremely hard on behalf of kids. And this is really nothing more than them coming to me asking for, permission or thoughts about a new initiative, whether it's eye care mentoring or early childhood intervention. We're doing some high school work now in adding personnel at the high school for those students in need. So I'm so humbled to get this on behalf of the district, but really this is for all of those people in the district who have come to me collaboratively so that we've been able to put things in place for our kids. So thank you.
Congratulations to all of tonight's nominees and award recipients. What a blessing it is to have partners like them who are so committed to supporting the wraparound needs of kids and families. We've got one more incredibly important award to give tonight, the Christine Cooper Scholarship Award. For those of you who didn't have the privilege of knowing her, Christine Cooper meant many things to many people. A part of the Red Oak family for more than 12 years, Christine was a bedrock at Kenmore Garfield High School, where she served as a case manager on the school-based treatment team, giving young men and women the confidence they needed to manage their mental health symptoms, navigate through their trauma, and build their own resilience. Day in and day out, Christine instilled in her students a sense of hope that they could do better, have better, and be better. In November of 2019, Christine lost her own battle with cancer, leaving us all far too soon. Many who knew Christine are watching tonight, including her beautiful family, Eric, Erica, Randall, and Josiah. Christine's legacy of servitude and gratitude, her courage, her heart, and her belief that all things are possible live on here at Red Oak and continue to serve as a gift to others through the Christine Cooper Daring Greatly Scholarship Award. Let's watch as some of her students give us a glimpse of the impact Christine had and what she meant to those whose paths she crossed.
When I first met Miss Cooper, it was an instant click.
Miss Cooper didn't make me feel like I was bad like my other counselors did.
As I kind of progressed, Miss Cooper kind of wrote down tips for me. Okay, let's try this week.
And she was a wonderful person. She had a good heart. Funny times when I used to be mad, she was some girl, if you don't fix your face, you got the class,
Here's a woman who absolutely loves these kids and will do anything for these kids and use all resources in order to help these kids.
She just had that motherly role for them.
Such a go-getter. She had energy. She's just okay, I'll do, what do we need to get done?
If I could tell Christine something, just thank you. Thank you for teaching us what it is to love children.
One, I tell her I miss her. And I haven't worked with her in 3 years, and I'm still like this. So it tells you the kind of impact she has on people, not just kids.
She just was I see it in you, you know what I'm saying? I know the hurt, the pain, just let it out, you could talk about it.
Kind of want to be like her.
Some people get hardened by this field and they just get burnt out, and you didn't see that with Cooper.
I would tell her I'm doing better now and everything, and that I miss her.
I didn't have a lot of support. A lot of my teachers called me a troubled child, and she never looked at me like that.
I would tell her thank you for pushing me towards being the best that I could be.
If it wasn't for Miss Cooper, I don't know where I would have been at.
And I would tell her, you're the best counselor in the world.
Up on the one board, she had jewelry and sunglasses and eyelashes and rings and just all kinds of stuff that the girls could choose from. You don't have to have this reward, but it was just out of the kindness of her heart that she thought, this could be a motivator, and she just wanted to do it.
And these kids have a hard enough life, and they don't always have someone who have their back. And I loved how she always had their back.
The Christine Cooper Legacy Award is for a young lady who embodies all of those things that she is, that integrity, that character, that humility, and highlight her to give that award to a young lady that is very deserving and can have that empowerment behind her that Miss Cooper would want to have.
Tonight, we celebrate and honor a bright, confident young lady from Barberton High School that embodies everything Miss Cooper was to so many of us. Hannah Blazes will receive a $1,500 scholarship from Red Oak to help as she enters the next chapter in her educational journey.
My name is Hannah Blazes. I'm a senior at Barberton High School, and I'm receiving the Christine Cooper Scholarship Award. Christine seemed like she meant a lot to everyone here. It seemed like she had a really big impact on everyone she worked with. She just seemed like she was just full of life and just a really good person. I worked with Miss Shalana for about 3 years, and she's just always, every time I had a problem, I'd just come talk to her about it, and she'd guide me in the right direction on how to figure it out or solve it. And she just always helped me every time I asked her for guidance on something. It's just nice to have somebody to go to. I always talked to Miss Shalana about my goals and future plans, and she always pushed me and told me that if I wanted to do it, I could do it. So she always just pushed me to go to the fullest with everything I had an idea to do. My end goal is to be a pediatric doctor, but for now I'm gonna go get my RN at Akron Wayne. I would like to thank them for the scholarship. It means a lot to me to be able to receive one.
Thank you for sharing your time, talent, and treasure in support of our mission. I'm both grateful and humbled by your support. I hope that tonight you've learned a little more about the work of Red Oak, and that you leave inspired to continue to add fuel to the flame that Red Oak lights in this community. I know tonight has made me even more proud to be on this journey with all of our amazing partners and rock stars that you heard from, and the many more that you didn't. Please keep in touch with us by following us on our Facebook, or signing up for our newsletter on our website, www.redoakbh.org. Keep tending those seeds that need your support, and keep being the change we need to see in this world. We look forward to having you all back with us again for next year's 3rd annual Where Love Grows benefit, and with any luck, we'll be back to being live and in person. Have a wonderful end to your evening, and remember to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and take care of this place.
Hi guys! So I want to introduce you to my little leprechaun since we're just past St. Patrick's Day. This is Sullivan Babe Flossie. He's picked quite a few tickets already. This is our Louis Vuitton auction. So what we are going to do is we're going to put them all back in, and then we're going to choose just one ticket for the winner of the Louis Vuitton bag. So Sullivan Babe, throw them back in. Who's that say? Yes, it says Rachel Tyree. Rachel, you just won a Louis Vuitton bag. That's incredible. So congratulations. We're so excited. Thank you all so much for participating in the Louis Vuitton raffle. It was a huge hit. I would love to do it again. And we're glad you supported Where Love Grows. Thanks.